Hi, this is Dr. Aruna, Assistant Professor, Department of English, KCS Kasinadar College of Arts and Science. And now we are going to analyze speech style and style shifting. Speech style acts as a social feature of language use. The most basic distinction in speech style is between formal uses and informal uses. Formal style is when we pay more careful attention to how we are speaking, and informal style is when we pay less attention. They are sometimes described as careful style and casual style. A change from one to the other by an individual is called style shifting. When Lebov, the linguist, initially asked the salespeople where certain items were, he assumed they were answering in an informal manner. After they answered his question, Lebov then pretended not to have heard and said, "Excuse me," in order to elicit a repetition of the same expression, which was pronounced with more attention to being clear. This was taken as a representative sample of the speaker's more careful style. When speakers repeated the phrase fourth floor, the frequency of post-vocalic R increased in all groups. In a finding that has been confirmed in other studies, middle class speakers are much more likely to shift their style of speaking significantly in the direction of the upper middle class when they are using a careful style. It is possible to use more elaborate elicitation procedures to create more gradation in the category of style. Asking someone to read a text out aloud will result in more attention to speech than simply asking them to answer some questions in an interview. Asking that same individual to read out aloud a list of individual words taken from the text will result in even more careful pronunciation of those words and hence a more formal version of the individual speech style. When Lebov analyzed the way New Yorkers performed in these elicitation procedures, he found a general overall increase in post-vocalic R in all groups as the task required more attention to speech. Among the lower middle class speakers, the increase was so great in the pronunciation of the word lists and their frequency of post-vocalic R was actually higher than among upper middle class speakers. As other studies have discovered, when speakers in a middle status group try to use a prestige form associated with a higher status group in a formal situation, they have a tendency to overuse the form. This has been explained in terms of the effects of social ambition among the middle class to be better. Sensing that a certain pronunciation feature has higher status, these speakers treat more as better in their formal speech style. Style shifting cannot be defined as shifting from one dialect of English or level of formality to another, but rather as the selective production of certain features of a dialect and the exclusion of others. The focus of attention is on creating a projected linguistic identity. Successful style shifting is possible if speakers know what the forms of the vernacular spoken in their area are and can use them in appropriate contexts. Style shifting is not normally stigmatized as long as one's interlocutors know the vernacular is not one's only mode of speech. The term can also be used in a more general sense to refer to shifting from any one style to another and not just to a vernacular mode. The concept of style shifting is generally used to refer to a change in language varieties which involves only the code markers, that is, variable features associated with social and cultural dimensions such as age, sex, social class, and the relationship between speakers. And style shifting is an instructional strategy in which a teacher trains students how to determine when to use formal and informal language so that the students can communicate in a better way in different situations, verbally or in writing. Students are intentionally taught why and how they would move from formal to informal writing or speaking style and learn to pay close attention to purpose, audience, and language. The teacher shares and analyzes examples of situations and writing genres when formal and informal language are appropriate. Teachers model how to shift from informal style to formal style for academic writing. Students are supported through clearly defining informal and formal style as well as teaching academic vocabulary, scanning skills, and synonym selection to adapt to intended style, which makes the process of moving from one style to the next more concrete. This is all about style shifting. Thank you.